Garden Care A to Z is brought to you by Effecto.
Welcome to Garden Care A to Z. My name is Bimray. Today we're going to be looking at controlling weeds in the garden. Firstly, we're going to look at weeds in the flower bed. Secondly, those pesky weeds in your lawn. And lastly, but not least, the weeds that grow through your paving. How do we get rid of these things? The easiest way to control weeds in your garden bed is to use a landscaping fabric. Now, the landscaping fabric will allow water through, but it will not allow the weeds to come through. So that's a nice way of suppressing it without having to pull it out or use chemicals to control it. Now, it's actually dead simple. You very simply lay it across your well-prepared bed. Make sure it's nicely fertilized before you plant. Cut across, like you can see over there, cut across just big enough to plant through. Put your plant in, and then you can cover the fabric with a decorative mulch, or you could simply use bark chips. In this case, to hide the fabric, I've used a very nice decorative pebble mulch, and we simply just cover it up. To fertilize, you would do it in the normal way, apply a granular fertilizer and water in well. The water will move through the plant decks and feed your plants. And then we have a really cool looking bed that's not going to get any weeds. To control broadleaf weeds within the lawn, we're going to be using a selective herbicide. Now that simply means it will kill the broadleaf weeds, but it will not kill the grass. We've got to be careful though, that to get the grass as well as the weed plants quite healthy beforehand. So it's a good idea, fertilize about a week before you do the application. And that will ensure that the weeds are quite healthy and will absorb the herbicides very, very quickly. So a couple of rules when spraying. Make sure that it's not a windy day. You don't want to get spray drift onto your plants that you actually want. And secondly, spray as close to the plant as you possibly can. You got to spray within at least 6 hours of a rainstorm. Make sure you don't get any wash off. Weeds are really just plants that are growing out of place. And of course, in your paving, they're definitely out of place. To control them, the easiest way to do it is simply using a product like Roundup, which is a non-selective herbicide, which means it will kill all sorts of plants. So be very careful not to get spray drift on any plants that you actually want in your garden. Removing your weeds manually tends to do more harm than good because you end up damaging the grouting and the paving starts lifting. Whereas by using a herbicide, it will simply kill the plant where it is right down to the root. It absorbs through the leaves and it kills the plant into the root area. Within 7 to 10 days, you'll be rid of your weeds in your paving. However, you may need further treatment for weeds that are germinating and for some of the tougher weeds. So my top tip for controlling weeds in your garden is to fertilize them. Make them strong and healthy. They absorb the herbicide that much quicker. This has been Garden Care A to Z. Thank you for watching. Please join us again on the next one.
Garden Care A to Z is brought to you by Effecto.